Hello, good morning, or good evening, whenever you are watching this. I hope you are doing well. My name is Catherine, and today I am talking about some of the books I'm planning on reading this fall. It is October, the leaves are changing, it's getting cold. This is all a very new experience for me as someone from Southern California who has moved to New York 3 months ago. I get to experience fall for the first time, which is very exciting. It also means that I have so many books that I want to dive into to just really get into the spirit of the season. Some of these books have been on my list. Actually, a big majority of these books have been on my list for a very long time. Some are on the newer side. Something about them just says fall, autumn, cozy, maybe a little spooky. So let's get into this. First, I have a couple that are like straight up romances that I have been eyeing for a little bit. The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels by India Holton. Something about this, I know like Wisteria is definitely more of a spring type vibe, but something about this is just saying fall to me. Maybe because I've been looking at book 2 especially, which has more of like a pirate vibe, and pirates say fall. I don't know. I think just in general, like magical realism and also historical just feels very fall. So I've been eyeing this one for a little while. The opening line of this is Cecilia Bassenthwaite is the ideal Victorian lady. She is also a thief. From what I know, there's like lady thieves, there's pirates, there's flying houses. Very excited to read this and see what it is all about. The next book is a book that just came out recently, I think like 2 weeks ago. And when we got it in the store, just something about it was like calling to me. I kept on looking at it on our new releases table and I was like, I feel like I need to read it. And that is Welcome to Fae Cafe by Jennifer Cromp. Look at how cute and cozy this is. There's just like, look, they're drinking tea. They have sweaters on. They also have swords strapped to their back. Loving everything about this vibe. It also says it's book 1 in Coffee Bean High Court series, which again, super cute. I just need to read y'all this description because it sounds so wild, but also so cozy. It starts out, 4 deadly fae assassins come to the human realm to help hunt down Kate Cole for breaking a fairy law. Leading them is Prince Cressica Alabastane. Try saying that 5 times fast. The most feared and deadly fae assassin of the North and heir to the North Corner of Ever. But after the assassins arrive in the human realm, things go terribly wrong. Prince Cressica's horror, his assassins unwillingly get roped into running a cozy cafe on Kate Cole's behalf. What? To blend in, the fae assassins are forced to learn how to do basic human activities like cleaning up after themselves, driving without road rage, reading popular fantasy books at book club without getting into alpha male fights over what they're reading, and in general be nice, all to blend into regular human society. This just sounds hilarious. It sounds cozy. I cannot wait to read this one. I'm just so curious like what it's gonna be like. I haven't heard anyone talk about it. Going into this totally blind, and I cannot wait. Next is something that has been on my list for a very long time, and that is The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy by Megan Bannon. The next book is coming out pretty soon, so it's time. I need to read this. From what I know, this is like an opposites attract romance with a zombie hunter and an undertaker. I am very excited to read this. This is like one of my co-workers, one of her favorite books. So it's time for me to finally read this. The next book is one that I actually like just got like today, and that is Hurricane Wars by Thea Gonson. I don't know too much about it, but it is like a high fantasy, and you know, fall just feels like the time for fantasy. I do know that this is like a Reylo fanfic published, of course, but I've heard really good things about it and I'm excited to read it. From what it sounds like, there is some sort of shadow magic and light magic working opposing to each other, but also opposites attract from what I hear. So I'm excited to dive into this because it looks like a really interesting world. Now, a book that has not just come out and has been on my list for a while, and everyone has been shocked when they hear I haven't actually read this yet. Yes, I know I haven't read Hellbent yet. Here's the thing, I've been wanting to read it, but I really wanted to reread Ninth House, and I just like, I haven't been in the mood because that book is so intense. So I'm just like, I needed to be in the right headspace to reread it and then read this one. But I think it's time. So I will be rereading Ninth House and finally picking up Hellbent. This is kind of like the first of the Dark Academia books that are on my list. This is high priority. The other high priority Dark Academia book on my list is Babel by R.F. Kuang. Again, another one where whenever I say I haven't read it yet, people are shocked, but I just haven't really been in like the headspace to read like Dark Academia or anything that wasn't just kind of strictly romance. So I'm excited to finally read this. I've heard it's absolutely amazing. I haven't actually read anything by R.F. Kuang yet, so I'm really excited to like be introduced to her writing because I've heard it's incredible. Another one on my Dark Academia list is A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid. I absolutely love Wolf and the Woodsman. So good. One of like just obsessed with that book. So I'm very excited to read. This is more YA. Wolf and the Woodsman is definitely an adult book and definitely like a dark horror. This one is more on the YA side. It looks like it involves fairy tales and two rival students investigating a reclusive author's legacy. Sounds so good. I'm already like obsessed with the two of them. Also, can we talk about this cover? This is the Fairy Loot exclusive cover, and it is so pretty. Or was it, did I say Alcrate or Fairy Loot? Actually, it's Alcrate, right? Yeah, Alcrate. Alcrate exclusive cover. Stunning, obsessed, beautiful. Speaking of Alcrate, another book that I recently got from them, their first book in their adult fantasy box was Masters of Death by Olivia Blake. I am an Olivia Blake girl. I love her books. Her writing is just so good, so atmospheric, which is perfect for this time of year. This one involves vampires, vampire and a medium. I read like the first couple chapters of it recently, and I already am in love with the writing, so I can't wait to like read through it and finish it. It also sounds like there's a ghost infested mansion. I don't know what that means, but this is clearly the perfect book to read this time of year. The cover alone screams October. Now, I do have two books here that have been on my list even longer than Babel and Hellbent, and it's honestly embarrassing that I haven't read them yet. First, Book of Night by Holly Black. This is also, I think, Alcrate. Oh, it totally is. There you go. Yeah, I haven't read this yet. I do own like 5 or 6 copies of this book, but I don't, another one where it was like, I got this when I like kind of stopped reading fantasy for a hot second. It's time. It has been on so many of my TBRs. I have said that I'm going to read it for literal years, I think. When did this come out? Okay, only like a year. It came out in 2022. I'm going to read it. I'm determined. The other book that has been on my list for a very long time, and it has actually been years since it came out. I'm pretty sure this came out in like either 2020 or 2021. 2020. And that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I know this book is controversial. I know people are obsessed with it or people hate it. I'm like ready to go in here with like a blank mind and just see what I think. I know it's about a girl who makes a deal with death. I know death is like a character in this book, which I always love. I love books that like have a personification of death. I just find it so interesting. Is that morbid of me? Maybe. But it's such an interesting concept. I don't know. We'll see how I end up feeling. But I'm actually really excited to finally read this. And again, this just feels like the perfect time of year. The last two kind of books are the 2 volumes of the Creature Cafe series by Cleo Evans. This is a series of short stories. They're monster romances where these like monsters and creatures of the night go to a cafe to find love. I've read the first 2 stories like a year or 2 ago. No, probably a year ago. I only got into monster romances like last year. But I read them last year and I really love them. They have such like cozy vibes as well as very spicy. And I am so excited to like just read the rest of the series. There is just stunning art on these editions and I'm just gonna like curl up and binge through these probably in a day. Also, look at this art. It's just so pretty. So good. Okay, those are some of the books that I'm planning on reading this fall, probably in the months of October and November, because we are almost done with October. We are almost done. We are halfway through, like quite literally halfway through October. I definitely plan on reading these in the next month and a half. Probably not all of them. Let's like keep expectations low, but I want to read a good chunk of them. So we'll see what happens, and definitely be sure to subscribe. I've been working on doing weekly reading vlogs, so you can see how terrible I am at reading. And with that, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you've read any of these books, please let me know down below what you thought. I'm always interested in other people's opinions. And if you haven't read any of these books but are interested, also let me know, because like I'd love to set up some buddy reads to help motivate me to actually get some of my reading done. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and until next time, bye.